it's just, you know, it's just very sudden. Like there was an absolute influx of developers coming into this area and dropping letterboxes or dropping notes into letterboxes, you know, on a weekly basis, saying that, you know, if you want to sell your property, we may have a buyer. And this has happened, you know, for months on a weekly basis. I mean, it's a bit like being harassed. And across the road, a lovely old Italian couple in their 70s or early 80s. A real estate agent knocked on their door and said, "Oh, look, can I have a look at your property?" And the wife said, no, you're not going to see the inside of my house." And the real estate agent said, "I don't want to see the inside of your house, I just want to see your backyard." I mean, that to me is just not the way to treat people. I think it's quite disgusting. And there's a development on 55 Boronia Road where the overshadowing is so significant at spring equinox that the 3 old people that live on to one side of this development are going to be in darkness for more than 6 months of the year. I don't think it's right. Just because they're old doesn't mean that they should live in darkness. They've helped shape this country of ours and made it what it is today, and just because they're old, it doesn't mean that they shouldn't have a voice. Yep, if the development is a 2-storey development and doesn't cause overshadowing, okay, not an issue. But it's meant to be in a 3-storey zone, and it's actually gone up to 4 stories because of a sub-basement. So, you know, these buildings aren't even being the so-called 3 stories, are going up even higher than what's posited by the Knox City Council laws, and I just think that that is just not right. You know, this amendment C62 is apparently a seriously entertained proposal. Well, what does it mean? It's not yet ratified by Matthew Guy, the planning minister, and yet, you know, we can actually say that it is law. Either something is law or it's not law. It's you know, this grey area in between is something which I think and a lot of other people find very difficult to deal with. I'm a nurse and a scientist. You know, things that either are or not. It's not this grey area where, you know, even though something hasn't been ratified, you can still act as if it has been. And I've got my 2 little boys here. Which one of these kids do I put in darkness? Because, you know, they've got one of them's going to have a room which is really dark. Which one do I put in the dark room? You know, there's also the idea of winter depression. Whilst it's more of an issue in Europe, I think that, you know, it's also an issue for people in Australia, so, older people in particular, that can't get out and about as much, and therefore, because they're not exercising, they're not getting, you know, the release of endorphins that happen when you exercise, which are feel-good hormones. So it's really important that people do have access to passive solar sunlight.